Good morning and welcome to Wake Up with SEO, where we at Guardian Owl brief you on the latest search engine changes you need to know each week right here from the Nest. This week, there was some big news in tech giant land. LinkedIn published an opportunity index that highlights the global workforce optimism and potential. So if you're not on LinkedIn, you certainly want to create a profile if you're a business. And if you're looking for opportunities in the workforce, LinkedIn is a huge arena to look at different companies as well as put your online resume out there for companies to find. As LinkedIn explained last week on the Opportunity Index, the index is a composite measure that seeks to understand how people perceive opportunity and, more importantly, the gaps or barriers they believe are keeping them from reaching these opportunities. The index uses 100 as a baseline score for confidence, and a higher score represents greater confidence from respondents living in a specific market. Developing countries and markets are generally more confident about gaining access and pursuing opportunities. So far on LinkedIn, that includes India, Indonesia, and China. They are willing to work and create opportunities if they can get to the United States or work for a United States company. So LinkedIn notes that the respondents living in these developing economies are most confident about accessing the opportunities they want, while those living in the US and Canada are more optimistic in search for opportunities among developed nations. So very interesting, and it's two-pronged. If you are an employer looking for new team members and building a culture, this opportunity index is going to allow you to view a potential candidate's goals, life goals. So is it a work-life balance? Is it, more time with family, more time seeing the world and being okay with traveling and being away from home base, or potentially being a digital nomad for a company and moving from country to country? So you can view as an employer these opportunity indexes on LinkedIn, and hopefully it'll allow you to sift through candidates that really aren't in line with your company's core values even prior to interviewing, hopefully saving you time and energy as business owners. It's one of the hardest, the biggest challenges is hiring the right people to maintain and grow your culture and your company. As a potential candidate for a job, we at Guardian Owl want to say, be careful about what you put on there. Be very clear about what your goals and values are, because this LinkedIn Opportunity Index will help employers narrow down and segment your persona profile into jobs and areas, markets that will be a good fit. And if you're not clear on your goals or the opportunities that you're truly seeking, this LinkedIn Opportunity Index may point you in the right direction or may get you a little more distant from the opportunities that you're searching for as a new employee. So big news on the LinkedIn front. If you're not there, get on there. If you're a business, make sure that you have a business profile page and check out Sales Navigator, as this is going to be the easiest way for you to view the opportunity index and what potential candidates for a position at your company are looking for. In other tech giant news, Facebook buys an AR startup building a one-to-one digital map of the physical world. So this is where it gets a little creepy if you're not into technology. AR stands for augmented reality, and the acquisition appears to be about, the acquisition is Scape Technologies capabilities that go actually way beyond augmented reality. This is in hopes of trying to keep up with Google Maps, who also owns Waze and is the #1 real-time navigation app in the world. This from Scape. It's funny, this is, if you're familiar with Pokemon Go, this mapping AR technology was actually inspired through Pokemon Go. And the 3D mapping of the physical world is about creating a one-to-one digital representation of the world as not just a mapping company, but a real-time by centimeter 3D AR world. And so Scape has created 3D renderings of the world with location precision that doesn't rely on current location technologies like cell towers, GPS, or reverse IP lookup targeting. The company claims its visual positioning system provides centimeter level location recognition at a previously unprecedented scale by any other company. Probably why Facebook just acquired them. So why you should care? It's probable that Facebook will use the team and technology to help it build more augmented reality experiences with Facebook, and to some degree extending Facebook into the quote real world. It could also use Scape for offline attribution. So as always, be careful what you're putting on Facebook. If you are doing videos just like we are, we're well aware that our face is out there and you have access to this information and what we put out there. But if you aren't being careful about the text and the video and the images that you put online, this would be a great article to look at in understanding what these big tech companies are doing and how they're mapping your locations. So this is, again, Facebook's opportunity to create new mapping and local search applications that it's not been able to build. And again, there's a lot more beyond that, but if you're tuning in right now, Facebook augmented reality is going to be its biggest chance to compete with Google Maps and Waze. So drop a comment if you think that that's pretty scary, and or if you like the tech giant's ability to map location data by the centimeter and build build worlds, augmented reality worlds. So it can be really great for business and for developing countries. However, if it's in the wrong hands, can also seem like a very dangerous acquisition. So in moving on, lastly, to Google, if you are an agency or a Google certified partner, Google Partners sent out emails last week, completely changing how the Google Partners program is from a requirement standpoint on agencies. The requirements will be rolling out in June, and they require a lot more from agencies. One in particular is the minimum Google ad spend across 90 days for certified agencies moved from $10,000 to $20,000. At least 50% of your team or users in Google AdWords need to have certifications in search, display, video, and shopping. So this is Google's attempt to ensure that agencies are knowledgeable in the products and revenue that they're spending for businesses in the suite of advertising lines, as well as hold agencies accountable for continuing education to their team members. Now, one thing that was really interesting that rolled out is the performance-based goal. The performance-based goal is whether or not your company is following Google's optimization score recommendations. If you are an agency and you sign into your Google Ads platform, you can see Google's recommendations. Now, this was inserted very recently in the past year or so from Google, and based on their machine learning algorithms that unfortunately don't always take into effect what the business's real needs and goals are from utilizing Google AdWords, whether it's shopping or search or display. And so oftentimes you can see a score ranging from, 50%, 40%, all the way to 100% if you're following all of Google's recommendations, which includes raising your budgets or bids. So this is, again, most agencies take those Google recommendations and optimization score with a grain of salt, depending on what the business is trying to achieve. However, in this new Google Partners program, it is going to be looked at heavier and weighted heavier by Google in order for an agency to maintain their continued Google partnership. At the end of the day, this is Google's an ad agency, and you want to make sure that you are checking those Google optimization scores, that the company you're working with is continuing their education, but make sure that you're educated on what Google is recommending and testing whether or not incorporating those optimization recommendations within Google Ads is effective in generating more profit for your business. So again, big news on LinkedIn, Facebook, augmented reality acquisitions, and the Google Partners program. I hope that this was relevant. We all do here at the Guardian Owl Nest. Thanks for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you next week at 8:30 to hopefully help you keep up with the latest search engine changes your business needs to know. Have a great week.